You know that one of the most expensive professions in China has nothing to do with technology, finance, or real estate. It's a job that deals not with creating something new, but with repairing what's broken. I'm talking about porcelain restoration, a rare and deeply respected craft. Some of China's master restorers can earn more than $300,000 a year, working only with shattered ceramics. At first, that might sound unbelievable. How can fixing broken pots be so lucrative? Well, the reason is surprisingly simple. A single antique porcelain vase can be worth thousands of dollars. Some rare pieces are valued in the hundreds of thousands, even millions. In this high-stakes world, one tiny mistake during a repair can permanently destroy that value, turning a priceless artifact into worthless shards. This is why porcelain restoration isn't just a technical skill. It's a discipline where precision, patience, and artistry must exist in perfect harmony. It's a craft that transforms destruction into beauty. So how exactly do they do it? The process is far more complex than just gluing pieces back together. It begins long before any adhesive is even considered. The very first step is a meticulous examination. The restorer studies the broken object like a doctor diagnosing a patient. Every crack, every chip, and every missing fragment is analyzed under a microscope. They map out the damage, understanding the unique stresses and weaknesses of the piece. This is the foundation upon which the entire restoration will be built. After this careful study, the real magic begins. Using extremely fine metal wires, almost as thin as a human hair, the restorer painstakingly stabilizes the damaged sections. These wires are carefully inserted along the fracture lines, creating a hidden internal framework. Think of it as an invisible skeleton that will support the fragile porcelain from within, ensuring it can withstand the pressures of the repair process and stand strong for centuries to come. This part of the work is completely invisible in the final product, but it's arguably the most critical. Without this internal support, the piece would remain fragile, a beautiful but hollow shell. Only after this intricate internal structure is perfected can the restorer begin rebuilding what was lost. This is where the form of the object is reborn. Missing sections are slowly and meticulously filled. The material used is often a special type of putty or resin, carefully chosen to match the properties of the original porcelain. The restorer applies it layer by layer, slowly building up the missing areas. They don't just fill a hole, they sculpt. Using tiny tools, they reshape the filler material, painstakingly recreating the original curves, contours, and thickness of the vessel. It's a slow, repetitive process that requires immense focus. The goal is to make the repaired section indistinguishable from the original, not just in appearance, but in feel and weight. At the end of this stage, the object might look whole again. To an untrained eye, the vase or bowl looks complete. But for the master restorer, the real work, the part that separates a craftsman from an artist, has only just begun. The form is back, but the soul is still missing. Now we move from structural repair to pure artistry. To blend the repair seamlessly with the original surface, many restorers in China employ a technique that celebrates the break instead of hiding it. They apply a fine layer of lacquer to the repaired cracks, and before it dries, they dust it with gold powder. This ancient method, known as kintsugi in Japan, has a profound philosophy behind it. It doesn't try to erase the damage or pretend the break never happened. Instead, it highlights the cracks with precious metal, making them a beautiful and integral part of the object's history. The lines of gold tell a story of resilience and transformation. The breakage is no longer a flaw. It becomes a feature, a testament to the object's journey. This technique honors the past of the piece, embracing its imperfections and turning a story of damage into one of survival and rebirth. It's a powerful statement in our modern throwaway culture, suggesting that things, and perhaps people, can be more beautiful for having been broken. With the cracks now traced in gold, the most demanding step of all begins: repainting the lost patterns. This is where the restorer's artistic skill is put to the ultimate test. Using incredibly fine brushes, sometimes with only a few bristles, and with hands as steady as a surgeon's, they begin to recreate the original designs by hand. Every line, every curve, every delicate shade of cobalt blue or vibrant enamel must match the original artist's work perfectly. They are not just painting, they are channeling the spirit and style of a craftsman who may have lived hundreds of years ago. They have to understand the flow of the brushstrokes, the pressure applied, and the specific pigments used in that dynasty. This work can take days, sometimes weeks, of intense concentration. The restorer works for hours on end, hunched over their bench, their eyes focused on a tiny section of the surface. One misplaced stroke, one slight variation in color can undo everything, creating a jarring inconsistency that would ruin the entire piece. It requires years, even decades, of training to master this level of precision. When the final brushstroke is applied and the last layer of glaze is set, the result is often breathtaking. The porcelain is not just repaired, it is reborn. In many cases, the restored piece is considered even more beautiful and more valuable than it was before it was broken. The golden seams tell a story, and the flawlessly repainted patterns show a mastery that bridges centuries. This philosophy reflects a deeper cultural idea that damage and adversity do not always mean the end. Sometimes they become part of what makes something or someone truly valuable and unique. The repaired object carries its history openly, showcasing its journey from fragmentation to wholeness. In a world that is obsessed with perfection and quick to replace anything that is broken, the ancient craft of porcelain restoration tells a different story. It's a story of patience, of respect for the past, and of the beautiful possibility of transformation. And that is why this quiet, meticulous art remains one of the most revered and valuable professions in modern China. It reminds us that with enough care and skill, what was once shattered can be made whole again, and perhaps even more extraordinary than before. Thanks for watching. If you found this story of art and resilience as fascinating as I did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more deep dives into the world's most incredible crafts. See you next time.